This is a story about Azami, a 38-year-old man trying to survive in a post-apocalyptic world using his otherworldly skills. This manga has genres like action, zombies, adventure, post-apocalyptic, isekai, horror, and fantasy. In a world where it is overrun by zombies, yet someone still dares to challenge and eliminate every zombie around him. This is our main character, Azami, who is skilled in close combat fighting. Even the zombies behind him didn't stand a chance. He kept slicing in the night, killing every zombie nearby until the sun rose. While taking a breather, he said that if he didn't decimate them, then nobody will. He also mentioned that it'll be easier with the power he got. Turns out, he was once summoned in another world to defeat the Demon King with his 3 other colleagues to assist him, and in 3 years' time, they were successful. Azami wanted to return to Japan as soon as they were done, but Eurus tried to talk him out of it and wanted him to stay for at least a couple of days. Azami responds, saying he does care for them, but he's tired of being in this world. Even though their goal is to defeat the Demon King like everyone wanted, some of the different races hinder them throughout their journey. They receive hate and doubt, and those lead to tiresome events, he said. He saw his colleagues dejected and couldn't handle it, so he thought to give them a parting gift. He gave his sword to Lindu, his wristwatch to Eurus, and his necktie and pin to Revelia. The 3 were happy and thankful, and Azami now doesn't have regrets as long as they're happy. Azami finally went to the gate of passage to the other world and said their goodbyes. When Azami opened his eyes, he was in his room thinking 3 years had passed there. But when he saw his alarm clock, it was only a month that had passed. His phone's also dead since he left it for a month, so he charged it. While changing, he noticed he was still wearing his inventory ring. Out of curiosity, he tried to use it to see if it still worked. And it did. He wonders that if the ring still works, then does it mean his strength didn't disappear? He tried it with a can of coffee, and he crushed it like paper. He noticed his phone wasn't charging and wondered if the power was out. He also checked his fridge, and it wasn't cold. He thought it was probably because he hadn't paid his utilities. So instead, he charged his phone with his portable battery. He got hungry and wanted to go out. Outside his apartment was dirty. He wonders if it is rust, mud, or blood. He noticed someone not too far away from him, but it was acting weird. He's stunned and can't believe that it was a zombie. He already has experience when it comes to dealing with the undead back in the other world, but he thought something must have happened. So he reconsidered killing it and went to the first floor trying to seek answers. He still is in denial and wants to see it with his own eyes. And there it was, the street infested by zombies. He shut the door and went back upstairs to his apartment. His phone, which was finally charged, he looked for information he could get there. He received a lot of phone calls, emails, and messages containing strange information from various people, but in the end, he still couldn't figure out what really happened. He thought he should go to the city hall first because it was the evacuation site that his junior mentioned in the messages. He packed his needs first, like clothing, food, and first aid. He thought that instead of putting those in the ring inventory, he would put them in a bag to blend in. He's finally ready to go out. But the zombie outside kept banging the door, so he kicked his door so hard that the zombie outside was sent flying. He said that he won't hesitate again since the world is in havoc. He can still use his unique skill that he got, and with the experience he accumulated from Otherworld, he transferred magical power to his bat, and he bashed the zombie's head. He was able to take it down, but he's puzzled because the bat was also crushed. He then went upstairs to try some stuff. This is the start of Chapter 2, and we start with Azami. He's somewhere in the apartment's hallway. He wanted to check things out from 5th floor to 1st floor using his skill. The skill's called is Always Battle Ready. It allows him to sense danger and hostility. Since he can also use this skill in this world, it'll be a great help to sense survivors and zombies' presence all the time. He walked around the apartment, but in the end, he couldn't find a single living person. He finally went downstairs, and since his skill, Always Battle Ready, is working properly, he went outside the building to reap the benefits it has. He tries to avoid encountering zombies as much as possible by staying off main roads and using only back roads, although it is still possible to come across some. He took down the zombie in one move, but his bat was getting weaker and weaker the more he used it. So he thought to do a detour and get new equipment. He went to the nearby hardware store since he'll be able to get a sturdy weapon like a crowbar there, and he'll also need a portable stove and other camping tools. The store was crowded by zombies, so the thought that there might be survivors there disappeared in his head. He entered the store from the side because the front entrance was infested by zombies, but there's still a ridiculous number of zombies inside, so he impulsively took down all of them in an instant. He walks around in the store with his skill night vision activated to look for supplies, and he puts them in his ring inventory. Although frustrated because he wasn't able to take all the supplies available due to his ring inventory having a capacity limit, he still advanced to the second floor to get what he came for. Tool Corner, where one can find a variety of tools, he was able to find a crowbar. And since there are a couple more, he took them in his ring inventory. His always battle-ready skill suddenly sensed someone on the third floor. Although it's a weak signal, it's definitely a survivor. He also noticed a zombie not too far away from the survivor, so he hurried to get there. He opened the door and there was someone there sleeping. He woke up the girl, and when the girl woke up, she was startled, thinking Azami was a zombie. She even asked if Azami was alive. After calming down, the girl asked Azami if he happened to be a rescuer, but Azami denied it. She was dejected. Azami offered her some food and water. It turns out she wasn't able to eat anything for 3 days. The girl asks, "How are things outside?" Azami responds, saying that there are still zombies around. The girl thanked Azami for the food and asked if there was something she could do in return. Azami responded, saying that she didn't have to do anything. She refuted that, saying that food is valuable and isn't easily obtained. She could have starved to death or gotten eaten by zombies outside if Azami hadn't arrived. Azami is her savior, while also almost calling him an uncle instead of a brother. Azami introduces himself while also thinking how she almost called him an uncle. He said he was 35 years old, but he sounded unsure. He also said that calling him an uncle wouldn't be wrong either. The girl was sorry for what she did, and she finally introduced herself as Kaide, a first-year high school student. Azami smiles, admiring Kaide for correcting herself at such a young age. Kaide asks why he's smiling and why he said his age with uncertainty. Azami responds saying, "Don't mind me smiling. The reason why he said his age like that was because in the other world he's 38, but on Earth he's still 35, and unsure if he should introduce himself as a 38-year-old man." Kaide still insists if there's anything she could do, and Azami responds, saying there are 2 things she could do. One is to treat yourself with care, and the second is to tell him how she got here and what happened here. Tell him how she got here and what really happened here, even if she recall painful memories. Since the world is in turmoil, Azami wanted to hear it all from Kaide.